Hello. This is Antje from Byte Shuffle. Thank you for always watching our videos. This time, I put together a guide on how to play against Spy when using Doomsday, including strategy tips and sideboard considerations. During my participation in the Japan Legacy Championship held over Golden Week, I had the chance to talk with INF, one of Japan's most renowned and respected Legacy players. This time, I even got tips on how to place my lands, so I decided to make a video about it. After the game, INF kindly gave me some feedback, suggesting things I could have done better. I share those insights partway through the video, so if you're interested, I hope you'll stick around until the end. I'm also planning to upload a video in the same format featuring a match against INF's Cephalid Breakfast deck in the near future. It may take a little time before that video is ready, but I truly appreciate your continued support of the channel. There's also a link to the pile breakdown video in the description, so feel free to check it out. Here is the deck list we will be using this time. I'm going to mulligan since I don't have any lands. I have too many discard spells, so I'm putting Duress on the bottom. Assuming we don't yet know the opponent's archetype, there are potential threats we'd want to take down, like Orcish Bowmasters, Cephalid Illusionist, or Nadu, Winged Wisdom. In the early turns of a Game 1, Thoughtseize is generally more impactful, so I put Duress on the bottom. Using discard to scout ahead, I took Undercity Informer. I'm digging for Doomsday. I stacked a dual land, then a fetch land, and finally Brainstorm, and drew them in that order. The Surveil effect put the card into the graveyard. I'm digging for Doomsday. I stacked Cavern of Souls, then Doomsday. Using discard to slow down the opponent's pace, I took Dark Ritual. The opponent is holding up Memory's Journey, ready to use either side. I'm going all in. From here, my opponent has Memory's Journey in hand. Since Memory's Journey can be cast twice thanks to Flashback, I think you need 2 copies of Thassa's Oracle in the pile. Since the balance could shift at any moment, I'm including Force of Will in the pile to be able to respond to the opponent's action at least once. If the opponent doesn't draw into anything relevant, I can use the Thoughtseize in my hand to put Memory's Journey into the graveyard, which would make the game much easier. I'm including Night's Whisper in the pile so that I can cast discard and still have Force of Will up in the same turn. I built the pile in the following order: Thassa's Oracle, Force of Will, dual land, Night's Whisper. I'm using the pile opener to draw through the pile. Using discard to slow the opponent down. Since they didn't draw into anything relevant, I took Memory's Journey. I win the game with Thassa's Oracle. I'll counter it with Force of Will. Before sideboarding, I'd like to review the list we used. First, the conclusion. I will explain it step by step. As many of you probably already know, I'd like to quickly go over how the Spy deck operates. The deck uses mana acceleration to cast Undercity Informer or Balustrade Spy, then mills its entire library. After that, Poxwalkers and Narcomoeba enter the battlefield. Then they cast Dread Return, bringing Thassa's Oracle back from the graveyard to the battlefield to win the game. Here are the cards in Spy that can impact Doomsday. First, against cards like Pact of Negation, Cabal Therapy, and Thoughtseize, we bring in Force of Negation and Flusterstorm. In exchange, we take out Unearth and Cavern of Souls. That's because these cards don't contribute meaningfully in this particular matchup. Additionally, we take out Edge of Autumn. This is because the matchup typically doesn't involve much life exchange, making it the weakest cycler in this context. After that, we take out Cabal Ritual. The opponent's deck is the faster combo, so we need to take the control role in this matchup. Ideally, we don't want to slow down too much, But since this is the least impactful mana acceleration option, its contribution is low, so we take it out. Next, we bring in Consign to Memory. This not only counters triggered abilities from cards like Balustrade Spy and Thassa's Oracle, but also counters Goblin Charbelcher, which can act as a backup win condition for the opponent. Next, regarding Chancellor of the Annex, if multiple copies are revealed, it can get countered. By casting Lion's Eye Diamond or Lotus Petal first, you can mostly neutralize its effect. Next, regarding Memory's Journey. If it's cast in response to Thassa's Oracle's triggered ability, it can disrupt our win. If we don't have a backup counterspell in hand, we can play around it by including 2 copies of Thassa's Oracle in the pile. Next, regarding Tormod's Crypt, not only does it shut down one of the opponent's combo lines, but it also lets us win through Memory's Journey if they try to respond to our Thassa's Oracle. By targeting our own graveyard with Tormod's Crypt, we can remove the cards they try to shuffle back in, securing the win. In exchange, we take out Duress. This is because after sideboarding, the opponent may shift to a Goblin Charbelcher strategy. But at its core, the opponent's deck is still a creature-based combo. Since having too much disruption can be counterproductive, I took out Duress. I don't think I can withstand the opponent's aggression, so I'm going to mulligan. This hand is pretty much ideal. I'm going to put Thassa's Oracle on the bottom. Looks like my opponent was way better than me this time. So far, it doesn't look like Goblin Charbelcher is in their list, but I have a feeling they might side it in for the next game. After the game, I asked and found out they're running 2 Chancellor of the Annex, 1 Narcomoeba, 2 Cabal Therapy, and 1 Goblin Charbelcher in the main board, and that's where the adventure came to an end. It's pretty minimal, but I've got Force of Will to stop the opponent's early plays, and some draw spells to smooth things out, so I'm going to keep. I'm going to dig for disruption. I revealed Force of Will, but I don't need multiples, so I'm going to shuffle. I'll counter it with Force of Negation. I need to hit Doomsday here or I lose, so I'm going to cycle first to dig for it. I'm going all in. From here, I'm increasing my mana to set up the combo. If their hand had been perfect, they probably would have responded to my Force of Negation with Pact of Negation. From that, I can infer that the opponent likely doesn't have Pact of Negation in hand. As long as I have 1 Force of Will, I think I can avoid dying on the spot. If the opponent has Cabal Therapy, judging by their mana sequence, there's a good chance they'll name Force of Will. This turn, I can draw Tormod's Crypt from the pile and put it into play, but if the opponent's combo starts with Goblin Charbelcher, it could backfire. At this point, Force of Will is still the highest priority card, while Tormod's Crypt is slightly lower in value. First, I need to survive the opponent's initial aggression. Then, I'll land Tormod's Crypt, which not only shuts down their combo line but also covers my own losing line to Memory's Journey. After that, I'll aim to build a pile that lets me actively go for the win with Thassa's Oracle while holding up Tormod's Crypt for protection. Now, I'd like to share some feedback I received from INF. He kindly said that there weren't any particular issues in games 1 and 2, and that he would likely sideboard the same way as I had outlined, words I really appreciated. For Game 3, he pointed out that it might have been better to stack the 3 cards I saw off the opening ponder as personal tutor consider Force of Will, then draw them in that order. He explained that the reason for this is because Spy kept a full 7-card hand, and in that scenario, you want to have double protection with counterspells. He also gave feedback on the pile construction that followed. Since any combination other than Memory's Journey plus mana acceleration wouldn't stop the win, he suggested going for a brainstorm pile. Thassa's Oracle Street Wraith anything Street Wraith Lion's Eye Diamond, and closing out the game within that same turn. Alright, let's go back to the point where I built my pile. I built the pile in the following order: Thassa's Oracle, Tormod's Crypt, Forcible Knight's Whisper. So far, everything is going according to plan. I'm drawing Force of Will from the pile. I'll counter it with Force of Will. I use Knight's Whisper to recover the resources I've spent. I'm playing Tormod's Crypt first. I win the game with Thassa's Oracle. Lastly, I have an announcement. I'm posting the concepts behind the images used in my videos, as well as small flavor-inspired stories, in the YouTube community section. Additionally, I'm selling merch for the channel through the link in the description. If you're interested, be sure to check it out. Thank you for watching up to this point. I apologize for the many play mistakes. I hope to improve at MTG together with everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a thumbs up. See you next time. This is Antya.